So beta, today we are going to start third unit, that is database management system, right? So when in this unit we are going to learn that what are databases, why do we require them, what are the types of databases that we have, and what is the purpose of database management system. Okay, after having understanding of these basic things, we are going to learn how to create these databases in LibreOffice. All right. So, and let me tell you, this unit is of 12 marks. Okay, out of your 50 marks of IT theory paper. So we have to understand it in detail. Now let us start from the databases. Okay. So as I have inserted two pictures here, you will come to know that, see, in the first image that is on the top right corner, there are the stacks. Okay, you will relate it with the Momo stack also. So there is a place where you can put the data inside, right? And that is very convenient to use. If you want to take out the first or the second compartment or the third, fourth, all these, then these are really very easy. Okay, and everything is sorted in it. When these kind of things we are using in order to store the data, and these datas are, you know, exchanged, these are, you know, we have use, we have liberty to share, exchange these kind of stuff that we have stored, like I have shown in the second image. So that is known as the purpose of storing the things. That is the agenda, that is the biggest advantage, that whatever we have, we are going to share it with others also, and that too with a limited access. So there will be users that will be using the that will be having the 100% access, as well as there will be users who will be having least access to the database resources. So I just wanted to tell you that the database is any collection of data or information that is organized for rapid search or retrieval by a computer. What is the purpose of storing something when you are not using it for something, right? So basically these databases are used so that computer will not waste its time in searching something. Everything is readily available. Every work is done within a matter of seconds. Databases are structured to facilitate storage, retrieval, modification, and deletion of data in conjunction with various data processing operations. So that means once you have stored, so I just want to make it clear here that databases are not only used to store something, these are also used for retrieving whatever you have stored. You need to get the information out of it. That means, if you remember, I have always told you what is the difference between data and information, children, in terms of computers, basically. So, data is something that is raw in its nature. That means it is unprocessed, right? And information is something that we are collecting from some data. So, you are going to store the data in the databases, and while retrieving, you are going to get information out of it. Example here, so if I'm having 20 students in my class and I'm storing their PT1 marks, okay, or pre-midterm marks rather. So these 20 marks, 20 students marks are there with me in a table. So that is known as storing the data. Now, if I want to see how many of them have got above 15 marks, suppose the test was of 20 marks, right? So this will be a query that I'm going to ask from my database, and based on that condition, the condition is above than 15, right? So I'll get some information from my data. So data is raw, unprocessed, and information is something that after processing I'm going to get out of that data. Okay, so this is a term related to the databases. Okay, and next we have database management system. See, children, whenever we are storing something, okay, and we need to retrieve it back, update it, we need to do so many things with that data. So we will require some software application to manage it. In order to carry out all these operations perfectly, we'll require a DBMS, that is database management systems. A DBMS stores data in such a way that it becomes easier to retrieve, manipulate, and produce the information. Okay, like let me give you a simplest example of Excel. We all have used MS Excel, right? So MS Excel is basically that system which gives us not only the platform where we can store the data, but also we can apply functions, we can apply autofill, we can apply uh, sheet references, or different cell references. So there are so many things that we can do in a simplest software that we all are using. Okay, so this is known as the management system, and this is not something which is like a huge system or something else. This is a software only that is going to give us access, or that is going to provide us help in doing all these things: retrieval, manipulation, production of information, sorting, filtering, any sort of operation that you want to carry out. Next is DBMS allows user to the following tasks. Number one, data definition. What is that? It is used for creation, modification, and removal of definition that defines organization of data in a database. You don't have to go in much detail into this thing that I'm telling. You just need to understand this, that DBMS will give you a platform where you can organize your data. You can define your data in terms of some fields, some columns, okay, some columns, some rows. You can name it. Okay, you can enter the marks, numbers, formula. All these things will be done, as well as it is used for insertion, modification, and deletion of actual data in the database. So it means that you are going to define the structure, as well as you are going to modify or update it according to your convenience, right? So here I have written uh, the roll number, class and section, and names of 3 students. Okay, so now you can see it is in a form of table. So this is something here I would just wanted to tell you what are tables. Okay, so now beta, I just want you all to look at page number 156 in your book. Okay, so see, we have seen the concept and examples of data and information. I have already told you what is data and what is information. Basically, processed data is known as information, and data, when it is in its singular form, is known as datum. Okay, so when it is singular, and when plural, that means when we have lot of data with us, that is known as data only. So datum and data, right? And next is concept of database that I have already told you. Okay, here like example of table I'm showing on you on the screen as well. So it can be any table, like figure 8.1 in your book. We have product ID, colors, and their price. Okay, so next we have any sort of table. Table is basically an element we can insert in order to store the data. We can have rows and columns, and the intersection of row and column is known as a cell where we are going to put the data inside. Okay, next we have advantages of databases. Okay, this is something important we need to discuss. Then only we'll come to know why actually we are using. Because of so many data advantages of this thing, we are going to use these databases in our daily life. Daily life means like whenever we are doing some kind of processing of data. Number one, sharing of data. What does that mean? Different users. If you remember on the very first slide, I have shown you a single database, as well as the databases were shared. There were links. Okay, let me just take you over there. See, okay, so in the second image, which is just below this text, you can see there are different databases, and these all are linked together. Okay, and as you can see here, children, we have these sky blue colored links, and if you can see, these links are there between these databases also. Okay, different stacks of your database. So what it is saying, that every level of your database can be shared. It depends how much access you want to provide to any user, right? So sharing of data is possible with the help of these databases. Okay, and that means that different users can use the same database to access the data according to their needs. Now let me give you an example. Suppose 10th A, you all are in 10th A right now. So 10th A database is there, and your all half yearly marks are stored over there in one database. So I, as your IT teacher, can access that. Okay, Your any other subject teacher related to chemistry, physics, any other subject teacher will be accessing the same database. That means the accessibility of the same database is for every one of us. Okay, but there can be a limit that my portion is visible to me and physics portion is visible to the concerned subject teacher, right? This may be there, but at least we are accessing the same database, same storage of data. Next is data redundancy. Data redundancy is something related to duplicacy, right? So data redundancy means duplication of data. It avoids duplication of data and ensures that there is only one instance of certain data. That means any data which is like in a table, if your marks are written once, okay, so there will be no duplicate data. If you want, if anybody wants, being a class teacher of 10th B, I want to see marks of my class students in every, every subject. So there will not be duplicate copies, that if Neha ma'am wants to see as a class teacher, there will be multiple. Okay, so I was telling data redundancy. Beta, data redundancy is duplicacy. That means when data is, duplicate. That means that if one file is there, that will be stored more than once, and this can be reduced in your databases because there will be only one instance of data. Okay, so if I just imagine that I want to see your marks in my subject only, so your marks will be there. It's not like if any other teacher wants to see, then there will be different table. So table will be only one and your name will be only. Okay, so this is known as redundancy, and we are going to reduce by using the databases. Next is data inconsistency. Inconsistent data means that it means single database is used by multiple users. Then it also ensures that the same data is present for everybody. It's not like for me it is something different, for anyone else it is different. Okay, there should be a consistency between the data. Okay, whatever data I am able to view, other person will be able to view the same thing, right? So for example, if two departments, HR and IT, HR means with a human resource and IT is our IT only, access the data simultaneously, then only one department will see the updates by the other departments. Okay, DBMS solves this issue. That means whatever are getting done by any one of the user, that all the users are using one database, so the updated data will be visible to everybody. It's not like if I am seeing I'll be seeing the older data and everyone else will be able to see the newer data. It's not going to happen while we are using databases. Confidentiality. Confidential means like something that we want to keep it as a secret, right? So the DBMS can ensure different views for the different users. As I have told you, we can have different accessibility permissions. Okay, sometimes if you might have seen that you don't have administrative access, maybe in the lab you have seen, or somewhere where admin is there. Okay, so it's that there are some things to which only limited users have the access. Okay, so this is something which you can you can include in the databases. Your some data can be kept as confidential and some shared also. Highly securable. See, security is something, because I have told you that you can have different access permissions for different users, so it is highly secure also. Okay, next is beta forms. Forms are the user interfaces, and it is very convenient to use. See, whenever we are putting something into a table, whenever we are maintaining or creating a database, these are likely to be updated. Okay, like if I have right now 20 students, suppose I have one new admission in my class, so now my students will be 21, and I need to update my database by the details of this 21st student in my class. So forms are really very convenient user interfaces. They are just online form only. You just need to enter your details, and these details will be by default filled in the database, right? So you don't have to do it manually. to do it any like you don't have to converse with the person and then you just have to type. You just give it to the person will fill, and these filled will be recorded in the database, and this is going to happen digitally, right? Queries. Queries are like I told you, whatever data we are going to store, we are going to retrieve it. Okay. So when retrieval is there, when you are accessing data, when you are just when you want to process the data and take out some kind of information, that time queries will be there. Like I gave you example that when suppose a table is there and the marks are written over there. Okay. And I want to see how many students have got more than 15 marks in my class out of 20, right? So this is a criteria. So query will always have a criteria based on which my data will be processed and I'll get some information out of it. Reports are the summary. Whatever I have done with my database, then I just want to take some report out of it, and reports are generally in the printable formats. Okay, these are the summary that we are going to print on a piece of paper, so that whatever we have done so far, the data analysis or anything, that is for that is going to hold the data. Okay, so these reports are basically the generalized or the summarized view of the all the updations or all kind of calculations that you have done with your data. So forms, queries and reports. Forms are used for inserting the data, queries are used for retrieving the data, and reports are used to summarize the data and to make the data in the printable format, right? Linking databases. See, I told you these databases can be shared, and these databases can be linked to various other documents also. Okay. So you can also use mail merge. What we have studied in mail merge, we have studied that a data source is there, and then we are going to, there will be a main document that is going to, we are going to merge these two things together. Okay, so database was merged with this MS Word also. Database, that means the data source in which we have written all the recipient lists. Okay, so all your receivers will get the message of the main document. This is also an example where your databases are linked to some kind of different application. Last is filtering and searching. So if you want to see something in your data, like in Excel also, we have applied these filters and we have searched the data. Okay, so that means if you want to search something quickly, if you want to filter out the extra details, you want to concentrate on the specific details only, so all of these options can be there in your databases also. Okay, so these were few of databases because of which we are going to use these databases for data processing. Now let us quickly discuss what are RDBMS. So far I was discussing what are DBMS, what are databases. Now what are RDBMS? Okay, so beta RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. Okay, where some kind of relation will be there in your databases. Okay, DBMS is meant to be for small organization and deal with small amount of data. It supports generally a single user, right? RDBMS is designed to handle large amount of data and it supports multiple users. So this was the difference between your DBMS and RDBMS. Okay, RDBMS is generally multi-user, as well as it is going to save huge amounts of data also. In this RDBMS have tables, and these tables have relationship between them, so that if we want to take data from another table, that can be easily taken, right? Examples of your DBMS are file systems, XML, these, or simple index also. If index of your book is also a database. Okay, example of relational database will be MySQL. Okay, SQL, Oracle. In fact, I just want to ask it as a question also, that MS Excel that we have used so far, is it a database or a relational database? You need to tell me by the next class. Okay, MS Excel, Is it a database or a a relational database? And when you are telling me that it is a database, you need to give me a specific reason for that. And if you are telling me that it is a relational database, for that also you have to give me an answer, a valid reason that why you are saying so. Okay. So this is it. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you before we dive into this, the actual database structures in LibreOffice. I just wanted to tell you what is the concept of your fields, records, tables, and database. Okay, so as I have shown you here in this table, so fields are these beta. Field means like a column. Okay, so ID will be a field, ISSN this will be a field. Okay, then publish publisher id will be an field. So fields are the columns only. Okay, like in tables we are going to call it as a column, but in the database we are going to name it as a field. It's just a difference of the name only. Okay, then record is a row in your database. Okay, like a simple row we were having in the table, so now we are just naming it as a record. So a database table will be of fields and records. Why we are saying so? Because suppose I just want to take out the details of roll number 2. Okay, so roll number 2 in the particular subject. So how I'm going to speak this? I want the record of roll number 2 in the field of physical education. Okay, so this means that field means the columns, the categories basically, and what is the record? The whole data of that student. So this is a table, and the values are those which are actually we are going to put inside the data. Okay, so this was all about today. In the next lecture we are going to continue how we are going to do these things, because right now I have given the overview. Okay, so discussing these basic points have given you that okay, what is all about these things, and in the next class we are going to actually see how these things are happening in the cases.